Yes, boys. Episode 4. We're back.
Again.
We are back. I thought you were going to go Slim Shady then. Full-blown Slim Shady. Do you want to do it just for the loves?
What, the rat? Oh, mate,
Do
I
it.
wish I could.
Do it.
I wish I could.
Oh,
It's back.
Back again.
Playing TV's back. Away TV's back.
Oh,
Playing TV.
Jesus
Playing
Christ.
TV.
God, I didn't get the names right. So, yeah, we're back, boys. Episode 4. The much-anticipated underrated players episode. This is surely going to bring up a few debates, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll put a few cats amongst the pigeons, that's for sure. But
Many cats amongst many pigeons.
many. I've
There's
got
so
some
many
good
players
ones.
to choose from.
Literally.
Trying to remember them all earlier was...
It's quite a good category because it's such an open topic. Like, there's no right or wrong answers, really, is there?
This is why I put it out there to try and get a bit of inspiration, because you always forget about players, don't you? Because they're so underrated. They never got the hype. So, but yeah, not many come up. A few did, to be fair, but not that many. But what's new anyway, boys? What's been going on? How's your week been?
Wow, I'm glad you asked me. I'll just jump in there. I've got a little video clip of how my week's been going, so we'll have a little look at that straight. Gosh, and actually, moving on from that, Mario's actually sent in a little video message to direct to the channel.
Direct to it? Oh my God.
Time. Yeah. So he just wanted to send us a quick message of support. I'll show you now. Here we go.
We'll keep fighting until the end. Come on, Fulham.
Come on, Fulham. Yeah,
come on, the Fulham. Does he not realise that it's PlayingAway TV?
Do you know what? He said that he was just, there was so much ecstasy from the win and the goal, and he was just euphoria, and he's just forgot to mention the name, but it was in my DMs earlier, so we had a little chat, and yeah, good result.
That's insane. It makes a nice change for it not to be female DMers for you, isn't it?
It makes a nice change for it not to be 0-0, mate, when it comes to Fulham game. I don't know about DMs.
I'm not going to ask you how you feel about that, boys, because I can imagine how you feel, mate. So I won't dwell on it. You've had enough of this. It's 6 home defeats in a row, and I've already killed you over the last couple of weeks, and now Suggy's going to have a go this week. But you know, at this point, mate, you're already dead, aren't you?
I'm Ian Build, mate. I've got nothing left.
That's an early
the overlay.
Literally, I was going to say that is yeah, boy. To be fair, mate, I don't want to gloat about it. What I want to ask you though is this it for Klopp now with Gerrard winning the title as well? What do you think? How long do they leave it?
The hard questions.
At the minute, I think obviously he's safe. He's safe at the moment. I think it might change if we go out against Leipzig. It could change.
I say if we get relegated, then.
No. We're safe. We're mathematically safe, mate. It's cool.
You've looked as well, haven't you?
Checked.
Before that Sheffield United 6-pointer.
Well, I've just been looking like down the table, and Arsenal, all of a sudden, who have had an awful season, if they win their games in hand, all of a sudden we're in a battle with them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Just to stay top
but no, I think he's safe for at least this season. Unless something drastically goes wrong midweek.
It's been drastically going on for about 3 months, mate, to be fair.
I mean, I don't know where it's gone wrong. We hammered Palace 7-0, and then after that, it's just been horrendous.
But this is the thing, because it's easy to point to the defensive casualties, but it's actually getting the ball in the net you're struggling. You turn into Fulham, basically. Like, you just can't score. You've got your main three there, and Jota as well, and it just don't seem... I don't know, you just got no teeth at the minute.
No, it's you're
not being hammered either, because if you're being hammered, you could think that maybe it is a defensive issue. But especially against us, from what I've seen, even the Sheffield United game when you won, the defence, it doesn't look that rope. I know you're lacking numbers, but it's the attacking options. You're looking, like you say, very toothless, very out of options.
There's no intensity, obviously. A Jurgen Klopp team at its best is full on in your face. There's been none of that for weeks. I don't know.
It's very weird, ain't it? I heard someone on TalkSport the other day, though, and it was a genuine caller, and I agree with what he was saying. He said, this is probably the beginning of the end of the front three, Salah, Mane and Firmino. Firmino for sure for me, because we've had this conversation times, ain't we? He don't do enough as a striker for the champions. And Salah, he don't seem to be interested, does he? No, he's the only one seem to be bagging, but he don't seem bothered, does he?
No, not so much. I don't know whether he's had his head turned. I don't know. It's
Where would he go? Where's he going? He has got
Madrid are linked with him, aren't they?
Good replacement.
I don't really see him going anywhere else other than that. Maybe PSG, maybe, but
Mane's the one that you'd want to take, to be fair. But I know they'll probably look at salary stats are better. But I think Mane's
numbers this season have been awful.
Yeah,
he needs to give his head a wobble, I think.
Well,
I was literally just going to say, mate, going back to that nice completely personal message from Lamina to us. We've had a bit of an increase in the old subscribers, which has been an absolute fantastic turn for the week.
Love that.
We've hit over 50 now, and I just wanted to take the opportunity very, very briefly to thank everyone, whoever's watching, who's subscribed and you've liked. It helps us a lot. It helps us continue doing this as well, because we all thought we want it to be a success, and we all fancied it, and we all thought there'd be a bit of a niche in the market for people to want to watch it. So it's been brilliant. It's been really, really good and really appreciated, and I'm sure the boys will agree.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, if you're putting the videos out every week and just no one's really interested, there's only so long you can do that for before it's a bit self-indulgent. So that interaction is important in the feedback. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So three YouTube accounts to subscribe.
I mean, I've never had so many Gmails in all my life, if I'm honest with you. No,
fake accounts.
But no, I really appreciate it. And again, once again, if you are new around here, just literally, it's free to do now. Just come off it, go and click subscribe, like it as well while you're there. Completely free for you to take 30 seconds of your time. And after, if you want to go over to our Insta and give us a like or follow on there as well, it'll be much, much appreciated. So yeah, should we anything else you want to go over from the weekend, boys? Should we go over the fixtures for a bit?
They're a bit of a
oh yes, they did, didn't they?
I suppose it is a shock result still, but Man United aren't exactly a bad side this season either. But yeah, blown out of the water.
Good. They were very good yesterday. I watched the majority of the game, but they're a different animal away from home, aren't they? They just can't get beat.
No, I mean it helps when Man City's striker's making tackles inside the first minute in his own box, giving penalties away to Bruno. Do you notice Fernandes didn't do the little hop though?
Did he not?
He didn't do the little hop. Well, it didn't look like it anyway.
I noticed his little celebration because he's been getting a bit of stick in here about not scoring against Big Six.
Big game, yeah. Roy Keane, weren't it? Is it Roy Keane dug him out?
I mean, if you're going to take criticism, you take it from Keane, don't you?
Who don't Roy Keane dig out?
Love it.
Yeah. Dig it, mate.
Who don't Roy Keane dig out?
Oh, no. I mean, he was one of the greatest, weren't he? But he does love a dig.
I tell you one person he never did. He loves Scott McTominay. Loves Scott McTominay, mate.
Yeah.
It's the Gaelic thing, though, isn't it? It's the Gaelic connection.
Oh, yeah. He got that haircut, didn't he? He come back and he was a different player. And Roy Keane was like, yeah, this is a smart new haircut. And he looks like he's sorted his game out as well. Like, he loves it.
He could do with an haircut. He looked like a homeless man on Sky Sports Studio.
Yeah,
you seen him?
Barbers all over.
Shave it then, mate. Like, good for the number one all over.
It's easy.
There's a lot of upkeep goes into this, mate. I love you know when it ain't tattooed on. Yeah, so good win for United away.
Hey,
realistically, are they challenging now?
Speaking of bald heads and beards, just to get it out of the way, that's the Villa Wolves game, 0-0, absolutely atrocious. Nothing more needs saying on it. It's the most boring game I've ever seen.
Is that like a little segue to Nuno?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a manager.
I wanted to make sure it worked, but yeah.
I liked it. It was a good link. Yeah. I rate Nuno so much, you know. And it hurts me to see him struggling this season. I can only think it's a bit of a Europa League hangover for him. I don't really know. Are they still even in the Europa League?
Not anyway.
Did they?
No, it was last season?
Last season they were in the Europa League.
They weren't in the Europa League this year?
No. It was because it was played in June, wasn't it? That's why.
I've made myself look like a right mug there, haven't I? Wow.
Speaking of European football, mate, is that what Everton are aiming for now? It's surely realistic at this point.
Well, as we're filming this, mate, and I'm looking down at the screen, still 1-0 down the way at the bridge, and we've not won there for 27 years. And I think if we were going to get Champions League, I weren't going to get carried. If we won tonight, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, Europe's surely, even if it's not Champions League, getting into Europe again is surely going to be, even if it is Europa League, mixes it up a bit more.
Yeah, I think realistically, Europa League is very likely. Preferably, I don't want to finish 7th because that means you've got to start in like June, which we don't want.
Yeah, play about 105 months.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. But yeah, Ancelotti clearly wants European football, and it does attract the next kind of caliber. Although it's Ancelotti and he pulls likes of Alan and Rodriguez, so you just don't know, do you? It's 2-0 Chelsea. It's just come up now. So yeah, Europa League is what we've got aiming for. But Champions League a bit earlier. This is a transition season. Give them another transfer window, and we maybe go again next year. Being realistic, we are.
Lovely stuff. That about wraps it up, I think, doesn't it? Nothing else really jumps out.
No, there's a couple of games tonight. Was it West Ham Leeds now kicking off in an hour? Is it
8 o'clock?
It would have been last night.
That.
Yeah, definitely. Leeds are good to watch, aren't they? But yeah, I can't think of any other fixtures that stood out at the weekend, to be honest with you. So yeah, should we crack on?
Yeah, we'll jump straight into it. So, is there any? Obviously, you put a thing out on Instagram in the week asking for suggestions. Was there any? I know you reposted a few of them, and there was a few that didn't get reposted as well. Is there any that jump out that we can go into? Keep people happy, get them involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention one firstly, which wasn't mentioned or on Instagram, but first thing that comes to my head, Michael Carrick.
Yeah,
100%.
So I say let's do one off Instagram to keep the people that are watching happy and interacting. And you're like, yeah, that is great, but here's what I thought.
Because the one on Instagram, the one on Instagram I mainly agreed with was an Everton player, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy sitting in an Everton toilet just bigging up. It's not an Everton channel, so I didn't want to like go straight in with that. And the other ones was Joachim Andersen, and we've had enough of that, mate, over 4 episodes.
But you can never have enough of Joachim Andersen, mate. He's arguably the best. He's the best centre back in the league. Ruben Diaz.
Boy, come on, mate, step in here. Just have words, because I feel like I'm saying the same thing every
Andersen
week.
had Salah in his pocket yesterday.
Boy, come on.
He had a good clearing. He had a good clearing.
No, to be fair, I said to you, he is actually. Look, watching him against Liverpool, and Liverpool ain't that special this year. He's a very good fullback, ain't he?
Fullback?
Centre half. Very good centre half.
Sure, just admitting to the world of YouTube, he doesn't actually watch football. He just has a quick Google.
Yeah, just that's what I did. I don't even know. And Man United still good.
Come on. Pro goalkeeper.
Very decent. He's unballed it. Is that a penalty? No, he had a good game to be fair. But yeah, that's my first shout. My first call is Michael Carrick. I'm just going with that because he is the ultimate underrated underdog. I think United, that team of, like Rooney, Ronaldo, Vidic, Rio, Van der Sar wouldn't have done half without Michael Carrick, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a great point.
I mean, he does a dirty work, doesn't he? He's a great passer of the ball as well. Michael Carrick was. Ferguson loved him, didn't he? So
he did. He's on his coaching staff.
Those kind of players, like you, I guess it's a manager's dream. Like just absolute engine in the middle. It were no fancy stuff really from him. The occasional goal he'll chip in with, but just keeps it ticking over in there, doesn't he? He's
definitely the Peter Crouch. What did he call Charlie Adam on the Peter Crouch podcast? What was he? What was it? Parched. He was definitely parched as well, weren't he? 100%.
I don't know if he was that much of a brown nose.
All right, Gaffer, can I get the cones, Gaffer? Go and get the beers, Gaffer.
Do you reckon?
Do you want me to do anything? 100%, mate. 100%.
I think that was definitely Gary Neville in the era before.
He was definitely the brown nose, weren't he? To be fair.
Carrick. Maybe. I can't think of anyone else in that team that would have been that guy, so maybe Carrick.
And that does lead on to another one, but I've had my go. You give us a call. Go on, give us a shout. I've got one in the locker.
Sticking with the Man United thing, Darren Fletcher got brought up as well, did he, on the Instagram?
Yeah, he did.
One?
Yeah, he did. He did get called up, to be fair, and I'd agree with that as well. To be honest, he was brought in when I remember when Beckham joined Madrid, and I remember seeing in the paper that it was when Fletcher got called up to the first team on a tour of America, and just because he got given number 7 shirt and he had blonde hair, they said, "Is this the new Becks or something?" Completely contrasting to what David Beckham ever did. I mean, 20 odd years later, he's not the same player. He does nothing like David Beckham.
Fletcher after number 7.
Yeah, mate. It was a pre-season tour. It was a tour, so obviously they only dole out squad numbers, don't they?
Yeah.
Like preliminary, like. But
I didn't know that. That's bad.
Yeah, and I remember seeing it's one of them weird ones that's stuck in my head ever since. But yeah, great shout from you, Fletcher. To be fair, who was it that put that out there? Actually, can't remember.
I
who it
didn't
was.
see who posted it. I just saw it got reposted.
If it was you, comment in saying it was you. Own it, because that is a great shout from you. Bloody great shout.
It's not a bad second pairing either, is
it? I mean, as we're at United, I think the most underrated player of that entire team, Sir Alex Ferguson's go-to man, Part G, whatever you may be. Part G sung.
Part G sung came to the University of Leicester and tore it up for their team as well.
Yeah, didn't even only played probably 10 games a season, but the big 10 games.
I was going to say that he used to get rested, mate, just to play big games.
Do you remember the number he did on Perlo? You heard the story about that? Mate, the story about that is fantastic. Literally, Alex Ferguson was like, all I want you to do is follow him around and kick him. Perlo was out the game for 2 legs.
That's insane.
Unbelievable.
You believe it as well, like
100%. What a player. What a player. I mean, join us next week for more MUTV live.
I was going to say, Manchester United.
but 3 very strong contenders there. Great shout, boys. Great shouts. How did I forget
Who else we got? Let's keep them coming. Who else we got? Let's try and get away from the red side of Manchester.
It's like top trumps, isn't it?
Literally.
Try to outdo each other. I'm gonna come in with one. I'm gonna go away from Manchester United because first their boy just used the one Adam Malaka. So cheers, mate. I'm gonna go with probably one of my all-time favourite footballers, Guti, mate. Guti. And I'm saying why. Oh, absolutely, mate.
Yeah, he was underrated.
He broke through in that Real Madrid team 1998, mate, and there he was in that side. He was at game time playing, and then they went to this whole Galacticos thing. I think they brought Zidane in his, well, not in his position, midfielder, obviously, but then they had Figo, then they brought Becks in, and then later on Gravison. But Guti, mate, whenever he was, I know, let's just have a little laugh about
the ultimate Galactico.
Thomas Gravison.
Jonathan Woodgate as well, weren't it?
And yeah, unbelievable. Guti, every time I watched him, he was like a Rolls Royce, mate. And there's a goal. Didn't he make that back heel assist for Ronaldo? R9?
Yeah.
When he was through on goal, mate, and it was away at Sevilla. I remember watching it, and he's through on goal, and he back heels to Ronaldo for an open net, and it's like, I think I love you. And I'm surprised you ain't up in Silk as well, because he's partial to a bit of blonde hair, isn't it? Blonde hair and a headband.
You know what? It would have been a bit, as I was getting into football, and I weren't really exploring like abroad. That I wouldn't have been watching La Liga and stuff. So like Forlan at United, I'd have been all over. But yeah.
After this, mate, get on you. I'll send you a couple of videos. Unreal. Boy, will back me up. He's unreal player.
He was a special player, to be fair.
He was great. In any other club, he'd be a legend. But because he was around Madrid, he was there for a few years as well. He played. I don't think I think pretty much he's a one-man club. I can't think if he went anywhere else. I'm sure people would disagree. But yeah, great player. Great player. So yeah, that's my second shout. Go on. So who's next?
Oh, who we got? I'm trying to think of the ones that were suggested to try and get them out of the way first, so we don't forget them. But
go on.
There was another one on there.
There was a few on there, weren't there? There was a few. Leon Osman was mentioned.
Leon Osman, but yeah, and another one. I mean, he was at Everton a fair few years, weren't he?
One club
Yeah,
man.
solid player as well.
He went
Was
on
he a
loan
one
at
club
Derby
player?
at the beginning. Pretty much, yeah. He went to Derby on loan before, in Moyes' first season. He's seen it in him. And the rumour goes that Derby were willing to pay $2 million for him. And he was unknown at the time. And Moyes was like, nah, we're going to build around him pretty much. And he did. He played him week in, week out, big games. And Evertonians didn't really rate him that highly, you know. But looking back now, he was a great player. He did everything really basic, but scored some really important goals against big clubs as well.
I remember towards the end of his career, he really started taking up. People really started to take notice, didn't they? Like
He's got
just
a call
before
for
he
England.
retired. Yeah,
like he played against was it Sweden or Spain in a friendly, and it was like Leon Osman playing for England. It's madness.
Was that around the same time that Parker got called up? Weren't it?
Same game.
Roughly. Yeah, he captained, didn't he? Parker was captain. That's another one of like a massive what if.
It was Parker, Shawcross, and Osman all got called up for the same England friendly against Spain and Sweden. Madness.
Ryan Shawcross, mate. I think we can all agree he's not an underrated player. He's just a bang average player.
So overhyped as well. I know a few Stoke fans and they absolutely rim him as well. I just don't understand it. They bloody love him.
Old school centre back though, isn't he? Big lad, horrible tackler.
Attack everything in the air.
Yeah.
It was him that did his career, weren't it? Who was it? Edward. Yeah, nasty one, weren't it? Was it him? It was him, weren't it?
It was him, yeah. Or was it Ramsey? No. Was it Ramsey?
No.
It wasn't Eduardo. Eduardo was against Birmingham City.
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
Who was it? Anyway, I can't even remember who it was that did him. But yeah, no, you're right, it was Ramsey. It was Ramsey. He did a number on him, didn't he? Massively. But Stoke have had some properly underrated footballers, in my opinion. It leads on to another one, Johnny Waters. I used to love him, but he never really got the praise he deserved. I don't think.
So I was the opposite. I never used to like him, but I can admit that he did a job. And to be fair, underrated probably to like the wider picture of football. Definitely underrated, but he wasn't underrated by Stoke though, was he? I think the fans all knew how hard he worked. I'll tell you another one like that actually. Jamie Mackey at QPR. Obviously, yes. I don't want to be naming QPR players, but Jamie Mackey, fair play to the guy. Like he was a underrated striker. He played out wide.
Was he was at Man City for a while as well, weren't he? He broke through at Man City.
I don't know, mate.
Don't know about
that. Sure, I'll get corrected on that, but I'm sure he broke.
Let me have a Google because that's not going to age well. Because I only remember him peaking at QPR.
If it's the same Mackey, I'm thinking of John Macken.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah. I've just got a fixture against Tottenham, Man City, Tottenham in the cup in my head, and I'm thinking about the wrong person. But yeah, great shout that is Mackey. To be fair, he played for him in the Prem season as well, didn't he? Them couple of Prem seasons they were up.
Yeah,
he scored a few goals as well. To be fair, Joey Barton, what a guy!
All I remember about QPR in the Prem was that Man City game, obviously the Aguero game. But everyone forgets before that when Joey Barton tried to just scrap every single player. Headbutt here, swing in there, getting pushed off the pitch.
Who did he try and nut on the way off?
It was
Balotelli?
No, who did he foul? He fouled he fouled Aguero. No, he kicked Aguero. He fouled someone, then he kicked Aguero, and Aguero went down as he was getting sent off, and then he went to headbutt Vincent Kompany, I think it was. He went to headbutt someone.
Of all the heads you're going to headbutt, Vinny Kompany ain't going to be the one, is it?
He was definitely the odd man of that team as well, wasn't it? Kompany, like you couldn't have picked on a worse person if you'd have tried.
Was Yaya Toure there at the time? Because he's pretty hard, to be fair.
Yeah, he scored some right beauties that season.
What a player Yaya Toure was. So okay, Mackey.
That's underrated. Before we just named
Yaya Toure definitely wasn't, was he? He was an insane footballer.
Yeah.
Although you say that, he was underrated at Barcelona, weren't he? So they played him in like a holding role at Barcelona.
They played him all over, didn't they?
And then he started to break forward, and then people recognised. But speaking of players that were underrated, go on.
Go on. No, go on.
No, you go. Players that were underrated. Oh,
Yeah.
you are going.
I'm gonna. Oh,
Go
God,
on,
you
no,
go. No, I'll start.
You just said go, and then you started talking again.
Go.
You sure? You want to hear it?
Yeah, 100%. No, I'm waiting. Go on. Yeah.
Yeon-min Song before this before this season. This season, everyone can see it, but he's been doing that for 3 seasons now, maybe longer, and he just went under the radar. You have players like Kane there, and yeah, underrated, mate, until this season.
For South Korea especially, he's literally carried the whole country on his back, ain't he? Like, when he goes home, he's got like godlike status as well, ain't he? But, yeah, I get what you're saying. But even before he set the Premier League alight, he was massively underrated in this country, weren't he? Because I always thought of him as like a bit of a bit part player as well, which is weird.
No, yeah, he's been doing it for a while now, but he seems to finally be getting like the recognition.
I think his motive for why he's been on fire for his country is pretty good, though. He had to win something, didn't he? Or he had to do national service.
Oh, is that what it was?
He was going to get sent off, wasn't he? Yeah. He was going to get sent off to for 6 years in national service in the Korean army if they didn't qualify for a World Cup, wasn't it?
I mean, that would do it, won't it? No wonder they knocked Germany out.
Insane. Yeah, Korea have had some great teams some great players down the years. Park was Korean, wasn't he? Yeah, of course he was.
Yeah.
Man, no, the one I was going to go with before, and I did it rudely interrupt you, is Alex Song.
Okay.
At Arsenal.
Alex Song, mate. Arsenal was good, but when he went Barca, he made things tick, mate. I don't even know if he's still playing, but whenever I've seen Barca, he was really good at Arsenal, but which obviously got him a move away. But he made things tick massively. I can't rate him enough, but media never really got behind him for some strange reason. It was weird.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he was all right for a couple of seasons, wasn't he? Other than that, just faded into the background, one of them players.
Arsenal had a few. That whole crop of Arsenal players, like there was Emmanuel Aboué. Who else did they have there? Prim. Emmanuel Prim.
Leave it, yeah.
I mean, was he a footballer or a rapper? Like, he couldn't decide, could he? And then he just kind of became none.
Tell you what it was, mate. He was dench. He was dench. He did go Fulham.
Yeah, he come Fulham for a season.
Him and Lethal Bizzle, they loved it, didn't they? They made an absolute fortune on them t-shirts. Insane.
I'm not sure if he's underrated though, or if he's just not rated at all.
He's just not rated. No.
Who else did we have on the Instagram?
Harrison Reed. Not to be biased, but Harrison Reed came up. You saying no?
No.
What don't you like about him?
Just don't like him.
Hang on, let me just get my popcorn.
What don't you like about him?
He's not rated, is he?
No, yeah. That's the point, mate. He's underrated. That's the point of the episode.
No. He's not even rated. He's not got to the rated stage where he can even be considered underrated.
Would you say to Liverpool if the transfer window was open, given the way the season's going?
No.
You don't think he gets in?
No.
Who do you rate on current form? Who do you think's better than him at Liverpool in the middle?
It's a good question, but he don't get in.
No, I mean that's not. I know that's not the point. That's not the point of the episode. I was just went off on a tangent there, but it wouldn't be a PlayingAway TV episode if we didn't go off on a tangent.
You did. You just did what I did when Yerry Mina didn't get in my defence, mate. That's what you just did. You just took a nibble and you ran with it. It was like I had a great white shark on my end and a little fishing rod, and I'm trying to reel you in, and you're not.
Little being the key word.
Jeez. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right. Well, I mean,
Harrison Reed. Yeah.
Maybe not done it for long enough at this level to be underrated yet. Give it another couple of years.
If you stay up and he puts the same kind of performance he's in, and he's still not getting the coverage he probably deserves, then he'd be in the discussion.
Fair.
But
I'll allow that one.
we'll go with it.
Anyway, that's the end of the episode. See you later, guys.
You're not even mentioning him. You're not saying that he's underrated.
He's going to look at what month is he on the calendar, Sug?
I don't know, mate. Every month he should be, because he'll cover every single page of the calendar like he covers every single blade of grass, mate.
Oh, see what he did there? That's clever.
Yeah, little pun there.
It was clever. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
What's that? The glitch is back.
Yeah.
The glitch. It's always around.
What was that
Liverpool
one?
as well,
That
ain't
wasn't
it?
Hammers this time, was it?
We need to improve the security on this because we're getting hacked all the time. I can't have it.
It's strange, isn't it, mate?
We're getting hacked left, right, and centre. Weirdly, when Liverpool get beat. Oh wait, that's happening quite a lot, though, isn't it?
Get hacked every week.
Oh boy.
My only hope is that come May or June, whenever the Champions League final is by some miracle we've won it, and then it can all be forgotten about.
Actually,
Mate, Fulham Man City are going to win the Champions League.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I think that's the job he was brought in to do, ain't it? And I think
it's just one of them things, isn't it? PSG have got the same problem. They're on paper they can win it, and Man City can as well. But it's just not happened for them, has it? Either of them.
Can I go off on a tangent here? And this is underrated footballers, right? But I'm going to go on a tangent of saying overrated football clubs in PSG. Firstly, they're the best of a bad bunch.
Listen to the bass in his voice.
They're the best of a bad bunch in a Farmers League, mate. If PSG come to the Prem, they'd be mid-table best. There's a soundbite. There's a soundbite. I'm saying it.
Not trying to say things to go viral.
No, I'm being serious.
Okay.
I'm being serious. The PSG, mate, the Farmers League. Moise Keane, mate, being prime example of a player who literally in the Prem did absolutely nothing, didn't even look like doing anything. He's gone to the league and he's literally doing bits, mate. With
all due respect, mate, in the Prem, that when he played for Everton in the Prem, he had Bernard and who?
Bernard didn't play, mate. Bernard didn't play for us.
Oh, who played alongside Moise Keane the year he was at Everton in the Prem?
He didn't really play himself, though, did he? To be fair,
what, Richarlison and Bernard, maybe, or who? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Because James weren't. Who?
Didn't he get subbed on and then subbed off last year?
Okay, so he's gone from having Iwobi and Richarlison either side of him to Mbappe and Neymar. And Everton are a mid-table Prem team. I just don't see. I don't think PSG. I don't know. Let's see what people think in the comments. PSG comes in, and I think that they're a top 6 team.
They're up there, aren't they?
They're
not
mid-table. I think. Okay.
Let me ask you this: if Rangers and Celtic came to the Prem or the English leagues, where do they finish?
So this is not like a yes, black and white question, yes or no question. What else should I say? Give Rangers and Celtic the size of Rangers and Celtic as football clubs. They are as big as Manchester United and Liverpool are in the Premier League, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
Give them 10 years. They're huge clubs, mate. Give them 10 years, and they would be Premier League content. They'd be winning Premier League titles, in my opinion. But if you dropped them in, say, next season, then I don't think they're any better than Everton, Tottenham. Them teams. No, not mid-table. I'm talking about the teams pushing, so from 7th up.
So you think? So let me get it straight. So if next season PSG, Rangers, and Celtic all came to the English Premier League, you think PSG finished below Rangers and Celtic?
100%, and I'll tell you for why, mate. Because the Scottish Premier. No, hear me out. The Scottish Premier League is a lot more physical than the league in France. It is. Okay, I'll tell you what then. Tell me who's pushing PSG for the league title in France.
Lille, top of the league.
Lille, mate. Lille.
Mate,
back in the day.
No, you want to change the subject?
I'm standing by it. I'm standing by it, mate. I'm standing by it.
I tell you what, I can't wait for this European Super League.
Well, yeah, like, come on.
I mean, they got to the Champions League final. Come on, mate. I mean, you took what? No, okay. The way you twisted it there, you've turned it and said that Rangers and Celtic. But I'm saying that Rangers and Celtic would be more suited to the Premier League than PSG would.
That wasn't the question. You said PSG would finish mid-table, and then you said Rangers and Celtic would be pushing top 6, and in a few years would be Premier League.
When I say mid-table, mate, I mean from 10th up to 7th.
I personally think Rangers and Celtic would both struggle to stay up in the Premier League.
No, mate.
I don't think Rangers would now, because I feel like with Rangers, it's not they've got a good side, but it's not a quality thing as such as I think Gerrard has really instilled a mentality there of Champions mentality. So I think they'd be all right. But Celtic have looked poor this season. They're in a bit of a shambles. We're getting distracted anyway, but
we've gone from underrated players to overrated teams, and I like it. I like the transition. In fact, let's change the banner. Let's go with it and go overrated clubs.
Because we could list players all night. But
let's just put a cap on this for now. And while we're doing that, boys, we'll just quickly say again: if you're new around here, whack the like and subscribe button. Just get it done and dusted now. It'll help us out, like I say. Go on Instagram as well.
From the Wild West.
And howdy, partner. Go on Instagram. If you're new around,
get this on, birthday girl. You're having a burn, darling.
Go on to Instagram. The names, I forget the names. It's down below at PlayingAway TV. Give us a follow on there as well. But let's just call it, shall we? Should we just stop going on about how shit PSG are?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want some out getting out of that hole, just say.
I'm fine in the hole, mate. I love it in the hole. Get in my hole. I love it in the hole.
I mean, you've really lost your head here, haven't you?
I've not, mate. I'm standing by it.
You're sitting on a YouTube channel shouting, "I love being in the hole, get in the hole." PSG and mid-table. I don't think it's much more insane than that.
I mean, truth be told, Lockdown 3 has affected me badly, and this is how it's manifested itself. But let's move on.
Okay, where are we going next?
Right, I'm going to kick off. I'm going to kick off with the rated players.
What's just happened?
Claude Makelele.
He's not underrated, mate.
He's not underrated. He's very good.
Do you not think he's underrated?
Weren't you a World Cup winner as well?
I think he's underrated.
People talk about that Chelsea team and they say he was the man. I
don't think he gets enough credit.
He's the player that they tried to recreate for years.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a fair shout, but yeah, I think if anybody, any football fan you ask, and you mentioned Claude Makelele, and I think they all. Didn't he won a couple of Prem titles with Chelsea as well, didn't he?
I think with Chelsea, obviously he revolutionised things, didn't he? But definitely at Real Madrid, he was definitely underrated.
Yeah, he was in that 2000 team, weren't it, that won the Champions League, and he was a young lad back then. Yeah. He was a great player. Going back to
I love him.
There as well. Yeah.
I wish we had a Sunday League version of Makelele.
What, in our team?
Yeah.
Who would fit most into that role? I'm just trying to think.
Maybe we could get Claude Makelele. I wonder what he's doing now.
Probably not a lot.
I wouldn't have thought he's doing an awful lot.
Anything can happen on PlayingAway TV. We just had Lamina sending messages in, so Claude Makelele is the next logical step, surely.
I can't believe he's took the time out of his own busy lifestyle just to send that in directly to us, which wasn't generalised at all, which was personalised to us. It's insane.
Lovely chat.
While you're on the Chelsea subject, to Makelele though, I mean, not so much over the last couple of weeks, but and a lot of people rib him, but Mason Mount, mate, I know you boys ain't that keen on him, and I know we've had words about him. He's massively underrated for me.
We've not had words about him. That sounds like you've had one of us by the throat. Like, listen, Mason Mount's a good player. I get what you're saying.
I rate him. Same with
winning
Harry Winks.
Harry Winks. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I'd go with that. He's quite underrated. Mourinho don't fancy him, does he?
No, he can't get in.
He played against us in the cup, and he had an absolute shocker, and I don't think he's getting in it at all anytime soon. After
that game was 120 minutes though. Like it's a long time to keep up a high level of quality in there.
Madness.
But,
what a mad game. What a mad game.
well,
All right, so the latest shout, Makalele, Mount, Winks. Who else we got? Who else we going to go through? Someone put Olivier Giroud as well on the Instagram, which is interesting.
No.
That's a very strong shout.
Rate Olivier. Good looking lad as well, isn't it? Gorgeous.
It tells you everything, doesn't it, when he gets in the front starting 11, even though he's not playing for his club.
His goal return's mad. His Arsenal record is ridiculous, and he was barely on the pitch, and the same thing's happening at Chelsea, and I don't get it. He must be a really bad trainer, is all I can think, because whenever he's on the pitch, he's prolific. But
He's the modern day Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the sense of super sub. He seems to score when he comes on, but he don't seem to bag when he's getting a run of games in the starting 11, does it? I know Lampard gave him a chance and he bagged a few. It's just come up as well, 2-0 lost. Cheers, love that.
heard it here
weird
first.
one.
A day later.
Ah, grim.
Yeah,
Breaking news.
he's got to have the best catalogue of goals, though, isn't he? That bloke scored some sensational goals.
It looks so much like Ryland Clark as well. I'm beginning to. I mean, have you ever seen them both in the same room together?
I mean, I've not known to answer your question.
I mean, Big Brother winner, host of Supermarket Sweep, and number 15 years for Chelsea. Is he number 15? What is it?
He was 12 at Arsenal, 18 at Chelsea, I think.
19, so I don't know.
Could be.
Mason Mount's 19.
Is he?
Yeah.
I just beg Mason Mount stops doing that dance because it's quite annoying.
Recreate it. I don't know which one you mean.
I'm not going to get up and do it, but I'll dub it over the top of it.
He's going to cover himself up.
100%.
Oh, wow.
Getting some good shots here, boys.
Does Hatem Ben Arthur at Newcastle?
The streets remember. The streets
Where did he pull that
remember.
one from? Jeez.
Papa Cisse, Demba Ba, Ben Arthur.
We also had, Johan Kabay. Was that when Matteo Debussy was fullback there as well?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Good side.
What a team that was for Newcastle.
They had
Alan Pardew got an 11-year contract off the back of that team.
Oh my days. That contract only ran out like last year, didn't it?
Alan Pardew, Jesus Christ!
What a guy!
What a team! That team was unreal.
They should have won a cup, shouldn't they? Really, they should have gone all out for an FA Cup or a League Cup.
Was that the team that was sitting in fourth at Christmas one year, and they finished fifth at the end of it?
Yeah, they finished fifth. Yeah, we pipped them to fourth, I think.
Well, I'm surprised you've not started calling Newcastle we after how Liverpool are doing.
Oh, it might be. It might be getting that way.
Is it worth mentioning the Newcastle shirt again that you wore at training, boy? That was about 3 years ago, which we won't let you forget. You have, mate. I think next week's episode should be basically about that Newcastle team, because the more I think about it, I'm just getting excited. It was a great side.
I mean,
fantastic side. As iconic teams go.
I'm trying to think of other.
The streets will remember. That was the episode.
Was it the team? Was that the team that was 4-0 down at half time to Arsenal as well and drew 4-4?
Yeah.
Chectiote, mate. What a strike from that 5,000
yards.
R.I.P. by the way.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah.
What a player.
It must have been Tim Krul in goal then as well.
It would have been Tim Krul in goal, yeah.
Probably Jamal Lascelles was still there because he's been there for about 100 years, yet he never seems to play. Bizarre. He's the captain as well.
Capitano as well, yeah.
Have you heard Jamal Lascelles talk?
No.
He's from Nottingham now, isn't he? So I imagine
mate. I thought he was French or something. And then he's on a post match, and I'm like, sounds like you're from down the road, mate. You sound like you're an Leicester lad. But yeah, he's not. I Wikipedia'd him. He's from Beeston in Nottingham. I was like, no,
I tell you another one, like Hector Bellerin as well. That's
he's a weird accent.
He's got a full-on Cockney accent, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what happens when Arsenal snap you up when you're 15 or whatever he was.
He's a stylish kid as well, ain't he? You see his Instagram. It's incredible. He loves it.
Best mates of Ollie Crowder.
Yes, that's a great shout, Ben Arthur. Who else we got?
Peter Crouch.
Underrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
if
a fair shout.
yeah, but then people do rate him highly as well. Like he scored 100 Premier League goals.
Do people rate him highly because of his banter, or do they rate him highly for his football ability, though?
I mean, it's
He's a likeable guy, isn't he?
I've started to like him a lot more after his podcast than I liked him before. He is just, I mean, I love him. I do love him. That's why I think I can't admit he's underrated, like, because I just love him.
His Champions League hat-trick. Oh,
ridiculous.
Everything about him said he should be absolutely awful at football, but somehow he's just an absolute animal, isn't it?
That volley against City as well.
Yeah.
Was that his first goal for Liverpool? Was that one that was like 40 yards out, wasn't it? That looping effort. Who was that against? Can you remember? You're a Liverpool fan, boy. Who was that against? Can you remember?
That
can't have been his first one. His first one was one where he didn't score for ages, and then one like hit him in the arse and went in or something, and it was a really scuffy goal.
That one you're on about was the one he scored for Stoke against Man City.
No,
yeah, that's what I was on about.
No, his first Liverpool. I'm sure his first Liverpool. I'll find it out after, but his first Liverpool.
But he gets pinged out to the right hand side. He controls it on his instep and then just bangs it on the volley.
Could have been.
Yeah, that was for Stoke.
Yeah, it's against City. It was for Stoke.
Was that Stoke? Was it?
It was an absolute banger.
Doesn't watch football.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna find it out after this, and I'm gonna show you.
He's gonna edit it on now while we're saying it didn't happen, and it'll just be 100%. Playing right now over us.
And yeah, I'm just gonna sit here laughing.
Strong addition. Who else we got?
We'll go for his
Should we sit in silence for a minute so you can insert the video?
Can we just figure for a second? Can we just say before we come and recorded this? But it said, but we've got to try and filter this because he could basically name a Portsmouth 11. We'll just say that now. So if you get a glutton of Portsmouth players coming up now, here we go again. Portsmouth players, it's because this is what Boyd has written down. So go on, mate. Who's your next one?
Suleiman Tari.
Did he play for Portsmouth?
Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. Not Suleiman Tari.
What a player, though.
Coincidentally, who did play for Portsmouth and also Spurs, Pedro Mendes. Remember him?
Pedro Mendes.
I do remember him, mate, because he spoke about him about 47 minutes ago before we started the good. What a player. What a player.
We both did a really good like Christmas morning reaction, like, oh my god, is that what I've got? Like we're both like Pedro Mendes, no.
Oh, I've not heard that name for ages and ages.
Here's one you'll get behind, Sean. And he don't get a mention often enough. Also play for Portsmouth. Sylvain Distin.
Oh, don't talk about Sylvain Distin, mate. I don't want to talk about it. I'm still not over the cup semi-final against you lot when he had that dodgy pass back. And we've never forgiven him for it. He lost it. We were going to win it that year, and he lost it for us. So, great servant, but an absolute donkey, mate.
I remember you calling him a Rolls Royce about 10 years ago.
before that semi-final, mate.
It's a Rolls Royce, mate. You used to talk about Sylvain Distin the way you talk about Yerry Mina now.
I probably did, to be fair. I'm very fickle. I'm very fickle like that.
It was I can't think now. It's gone. I just had one in my head.
Can I just say while you're thinking of this, and I've got this shirt out especially because this boy is the ultimate underrated footballer, mate. Andre Kanchelskis. And the only reason we got him from Man United is because he was basically going to lose his house because he had a gambling addiction and he had like Russian mafia knocking on his door. And Ferguson, honestly, a true story. And Ferguson wanted to get shot of him, and we got him for something stupid like 3 mil. And he is easily, even to this day, the best footballer I've ever seen with my own eyes, apart from Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, I said them in the same breath. But he doesn't get the credit he deserves, in my opinion. Absolute welder. Just thought I'd get that out there.
I'd say he probably fits the bill.
Ultimately, mate. Ultimately.
He's up there. I can't stop thinking of biased ones, but this guy was a bit of a journeyman, so I'll put him forward. Damien Duff. Does he go underrated?
Definitely, mate. Yeah.
And while we're on that Blackburn team, because he was at Blackburn at the time, Morton Gams Pedersen as well. You can't not mention him. What a left peg he had.
Another one that the streets will never forget.
Yeah, I mean,
He
you're
is
saying you're popping
actually.
your head off, but you're not moving.
I am, mate. I'm popping. You should just see my lower body. It's going mad. My legs doing the Irish jig.
Doing a river dance.
I'm doing this. To be fair, I'm gonna give it you. That he is the ultimate underrated footballer.
Morton
Is he
Gans
not?
Pedersen.
Gamps, mate. What's a player?
The poor guy was
That's
stuck at
good air as
Blackburn for pretty much all his career as well, weren't he? The poor guy.
He was
To be
playing
fair,
till not that long ago, you know.
he's still playing now.
What a player!
If
What
we're gonna do a future episode down the line about that Newcastle team, it's gonna be quite hard to fill the time. But we could do a mashup that Blackburn team, two guy Pedersen, Duff, Robinson
So
in the goal.
we could do teams like that, which are just completely cool, like
There was
cool
a Wigan
levels
team as well. There was that Wigan team had Roddy Agar, Ben Watson,
The one that
and
won
then
the FA Cup.
the Bolton team with
Oh, mate, that's probably my
JJ
favourite underdog team ever.
yeah,
even Campo.
Yeah. UC Escalina.
Escalina, mate.
So long, man.
Kev Nolan as well. What an absolute team that was. And
Big Kevin Davis up top.
they had Hierro in there as well, mate.
Yeah. 36-year-old Herrero.
That'd be a good idea. We've already finished the underrated video now. It's like we're not on air and we're just planning future episodes. But
you're
seeing behind the camera. It's an illusion.
We broke the third wall.
I mean, speaking of future episodes, next week I've worn a little teaser. So what are we doing next week?
I think we've got to do classic football shirts, haven't we?
I think so. Much like Getafe 2010 third shirt in long sleeves.
I mean, that's how much did you pay for that?
I don't want to disclose my finances on the internet, mate. It was too much.
For tax purposes. I think it's a banger of a shirt, mate. It's a banger. It's a banger.
Contrary to what I said earlier, I'm not actually in the top 1%.
It's a banger of a shirt, but I think we'll do classic football shirts, but it hasn't even got to necessarily be classic. We'll just do football shirts which are like synonymous with the time. That's the one. That's going to be the one. That's the title.
Iconic football shirt
episode.
Yeah.
Get ready for a whole lot of 90s.
Well,
Jeez.
I guess I better get rid of this segue now then. So we're going to have to change that before next week to iconic football shirt of all time.
I mean, that was crudely done on Instagram stories, knocked up with a couple of minutes' notice. So I think we can spend a bit of time knocking something proper up for it, to be fair. But I'm excited about that episode because I've got, as you know, boys, I've got a bit of a weird addiction on eBay at the minute, buying shirts that I don't really need. So I'm going to start showcasing it.
Why not?
I think that we should mix in with it a classic boot.
Oh, I literally,
that's got to be a whole other episode because you could sit for an hour on your own with no one else in the chat and talk about boots.
Yes, I could.
And I'll tell you what we'll do as well. Dobbo will be watching this. We'll drop Dobbo a little DM. We'll get him back in because him and Aaron Boyd are the big
Maybe we should just let Dobbo and Boyd do the episode. We'll just get off
They would love to get involved, and like I say, Boyd can get his boots out because he's got about fucking 65,000 pairs. And did your missus watch this, mate?
She should do for support, shouldn't she? But
she won't make
morally.
it.
I don't think she gets this far in. To be fair,
you say.
So I was just thinking, you haven't got to disclose how much they set you back, so we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of ideas there, then. So I mean, I'm quite excited for next week.
I am. Boys,
if you're excited watching, remember to hit subscribe, turn on the notifications, and you won't miss it. So imagine how much that would ruin your week if you realise if you miss next week and then you tune into episode 6 and you think, oh, if only I'd have turned on the notifications, I wouldn't have missed the classic football shirt episode. But that would be quite good because then you get a double whammy. I feel like I'm encouraging people not to subscribe here. Just ignore what I just said. Just hit the button.
Luckily, if you have missed any episodes, they're all below. So just crack on with them if you want. Go through and why they're.
Can't we do there's episode 1 is here. Episode 2 is here.
We're not that big yet, mate. We're not that big yet, mate. I've tried doing that, but we're not that big.
I'm just pointing to.
That's what we aspire to.
I think you need more than 53 subscribers.
They're just trying to keep us down. We broke the internet already with 53 subscribers. I'm snowed under.
I'm snowed under. I don't know what accent that was. I don't know why I'm
Yeah, it's an attempt at Bryn from Gavin and Stacey.
I think it probably was, mate. But yeah,
Should we say again, boys, on that note before we just get into accents?
That's a whole other thing. Someone's going to get offended. That could be a web episode, couldn't it? The accents episode. But yeah, once again, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Like I say, if you're new around here, give us a like and subscribe.
If that's a recurring character.
I'm sorry, that is. I'm going to do that.
That can be our mascot because our initials are PATV. That can be Pat V. It could be a cowboy, not a cowboy, like a sheriff.
We'll move on.
Like
mate.
Woody.
Woody. So where can they find you, mate? On IG.
At the Joshua Sugg.
Jeez, boy.
LFC_boy.
You see some of his boots if you want a little teaser on there as well. So get following and you'll find me _Sean JFX. And don't forget to get on the Instagram and follow us on there as well. It's up to PlayingAway TV.
Lovely stuff. Try.
Goodbye.